Hello again, welcome back to another daily Finding Bites of Repentance. Bethany run. Oh, you're trying to hide the Bethany run with the Zaza run, huh? Okay. Actually, it's, I think if you don't have the DLC, it's Apollyon. Because you can't have Bethany without the DLC. Anyways, today is Sunday. September, what is it? 26, okay. Hello. If you're seeing this video now, either I'm still around, or actually that's a little dark, isn't it? Oh, yeah, I'm still around, or I'm gone. I mean, who knows? I mean, anything can happen within 8 days from now, or something, or 9 days, or whatever the backlog is right now with this. Anything could change, man. Why can't I? Alright, okay, now I can see that I'm shooting. I thought I wasn't shooting. Yeah, so, oh, it's a good spider? It's a good spider, okay. I went to the grocery store and got some groceries tonight. I gotta finish eating too. Oh god, it's a chore. I gotta get up early in the morning too. Get some things done. There's a lot of stuff I gotta do. My router hasn't came in yet. It's coming in next week. Can't wait to get that set up. I was actually doing more research on it. So I'm getting a router that has 60 gigahertz capabilities for wireless connections. It's got the 2.7 or whatever, 2.3, whatever the number is, and then 5 point something for another band. But then they got like another one called 60 hertz, which none of my devices connect to, and I was looking for devices that can connect to it. Nope. And I mean, technically speaking, you could use it to wirelessly transfer things or broadcast stuff or whatever at very high speeds. And you don't necessarily need the devices that have those kind of like capabilities for that. But they'll give you really high speed transfer rates though, nonetheless. And streaming rates and stuff too. Even for 4K stuff. Which, don't get me wrong, that's cool, but then it's like, the 4K stuff, it's not going to do much good because I got a 1080p TV. Old school. Not old school, but like, you know, it's pretty old school to me. It's over 10 years old. Well, probably not over 10. Probably close to 10, I think. But, yeah. But, I mean, I didn't get it mainly for that. I got it mainly because the CPU and stuff. It's got a really high CPU. Perfect for, like, running a VPN through a flashed firmware thing. Because evidently, from the comments I was reading at least, it doesn't have VPN capabilities for some reason. As powerful as it is, there's no option for that. Of course, this is 2014 when this was made, so it's a fairly old router. I think it's about as old as this router I have here, if not a little bit younger. I don't know. I don't know how old this router I got here is. It's less powerful as the new one that's coming in. And I noticed too, it has a max rate of 4,000 megabits per second, which is actually crazy because the one I have right now is 300 megabits a second, which I'm not pulling 300 megabits, I'm pulling 100 and something, 120, whatever. Which isn't bad. That's a lot faster when I was growing up. I used to use dial-up. I talked about it in other videos too that I used to use dial-up. And then went for like 5 to 10 megabit per second speeds, I think, later on. And then I think I stayed for 15 for a while until I took over the service paying for things, and I got up to like with 20 megs for a while. And then I went from 20 megs to, the highest I ever went to was 50 as a customer. Now, because like I rented stuff as part of my renting thing agreement, I get 120 megabit speed for free. Or not for free, it's part of the cost. But I get such a good deal on it because not only it comes with the rent and I'm paying for it too, of course. It's not super high for cost. And I don't have to be stuck on the contract to get a decent speed. And just like the particular speed package that they got is a deal. It's under a business account, see? So to be part of a business account, you gotta have a bunch of different things kind of sit in order, sign license, not licenses, you have to sell like agreement stuff and whatever. Agreeing to be like basically, hey, you're agreeing to the terms and services that you're gonna have a 5-year agreement to stay as a customer for this. Typically with stuff like that, like for gigabit especially, you have to have, well, some companies, at least this one, you have to have a 5-year term agreement to stay with them. It's binding. This, I think, is binding until you break it or something breaks. And they do like these setups and everything. That's interesting here. Magic skin. We're not gonna take it though. I mean, we could, but preferably not. But yeah, basically you have to meet a bunch of guidelines. It just probably costs you more out of pocket, honestly. With the business account, I think you could have like so many connections to it too. And so, not only that, with a business account, I think you have to meet other guidelines too. The benefit of being under the business account with this particular ISP is you don't have to deal with data caps. And that's a huge deal because, I mean, I used to have this company as a private internet thing I was paying for every month and stuff. And later on, I decided to switch it to where it's like, there's data caps now, huh? So over 50 gigabits you go over, which is pretty quick, if you ask me, to get over that. Especially you got a bunch of people in your place, you know, sucking it up. You have to pay an extra $10 something, $10, $20 or something crazy. And I had that went over a few times. And it costs money. This is a huge benefit here because now I can just use as much as I want without having to pay an extra cost on top of it. Now I was looking at a different ISP company in my city. They have another one that offer 1,000 megabits a second, which is like 10 times faster than what I have now, right? So they have a good rate, about 120 something dollars, plus they have a setup fee, which I don't think I need a setup fee because they actually set up something here this place last year. Either last year or this year. I think it was this year, where they've already installed, you know, basically ports and stuff like that ready to go to use the internet whenever they want a service. They're not straight out giving you the cost of everything. You can put all your information down and then private information, which is stupid. They should just give you the price after you do kind of a checklist of what kind of things you plan to use the connection, how many people there are, and everything else. That's clever. I like that. But then I do like the idea. It's like, oh, give us all your personal information so that way we'll send you an email of an estimate. And then if you change your mind and stuff like that, you don't want it, then they still have your information. Now that's what I don't like. Or like, you know, another thing too is just having it just tell you straight up how much the cost is with megabytes. The old school way, I like it. Like I got like 2 different like servers or something like that trying to connect to my main network and everything. I noticed even with my VPN that was on my router at the time. You know, them spying on you basically, trying to anyways. Or maybe they are bypassing it through the spine. No, they couldn't. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like another way to like try to peek in little things about how you're doing, what you're doing, whatever. I could block that easily. I know what I'm looking at. As long as I got the DNS like filter thing on with the server I chose with custom settings, I can block that stuff in a heartbeat. I could probably use like Wireshark, which I haven't really fooled around much with it because I thought it's kind of complicated. This is interesting here. Oh, all right. I didn't think it'd probably explode that fast. Yeah, so I can probably do that, but then it's like, I mean, I probably will do that actually, now that I think about it. I don't know why I'm trying to talk myself out not doing it. So I can see what else is kind of connected to it besides like the 2 servers from my ISP and block it. Because if you block it, it doesn't do anything to your internet experience at all. No point in having it. Because ISPs, from what I've learned in recent years, they can spy on you pretty easily if you don't have a VPN. You can see what you're doing or whatever. The VPN, they can't so much. What the heck was that? Was that my phone? My phone vibrated. Oh, it's probably just, yeah, it keeps disconnecting with the VPN that I have on there. So I have an Android phone, and I mean, it's a new Android phone. It came out last October. So it's pretty good. Some people don't like it because it's kind of a downgrade of the other Galaxy phone or whatever. But for me, it's like, it's cheaper. And hell, I'm not complaining with like, some customers are like, oh, they only made slight different changes with this product compared to last year's model. Da, da, da. For me, I haven't bought a new phone, like new latest phone since like 2011, 2010, 2011, something like that. And that was the HTC Thunderbolts, and it was less than a gigabyte worth of RAM, I think. It was pretty freaking measly. It was one of the first like 4G phones at the time. I didn't have a 4G network until I went traveling. Like, whoa, man, 4G, LTE, what the hell? I thought it was hot stuff back then. But it's like, with this kind of stuff going on, the phone stuff, like, gotta upgrade. I like it. I actually do like it. Despite the camera being a little bit more lackluster, like, it's a huge upgrade compared to my S6. There's a huge difference, of course. Now, if I were to like pay this off and get a new phone where I get like something far better, oh, absolutely, I'd probably get the full Galaxy experience instead of the FE edition, the fan experience. It's cheaper. Get an 8K phone, 8K video phone with more features and more RAM. Jesus Christ, where do I even put 10K video, man? Like I can use 4K, 60 FPS, and it looks really nice. At least, I mean, like the camera sensor though, it looks a little funny, but like with the video quality, but it's a lot better than what I had before. I imagine if I were to have the full Galaxy experience phones, they're more expensive than I would have. I would probably have a hell of a better time with it, maybe. Like I'm not having too many issues with the phone either. That's another thing. Like I did initially, but I think that might have been firmware with a third-party app service thing I'm doing with filtering my phone calls. Which lately I haven't been getting spam calls, which is nice that the thing's working as a service and you just report numbers if they do come through. And for a while they were coming through. There's no way to like avoid it. And lately, it's been blocking a couple of calls I noticed. This is reported as spam, so I'm not getting any rings. So it's been kind of quieting down for now, knock on wood. Yeah, but with 8K video, I don't know what to do with that. That's one thing. It's like 4K. That's like excellent. It's great. With the 8K, like, how am I gonna get a full 8K experience? I suppose I could play on the 4K TV, but I'm never gonna like see the true quality of it. And I sure as hell don't have a computer that can run 8K videos. I can barely run 4K on this computer. $8K is like, I try playing 8K YouTube videos, it just struggles with it. Now my phone, it can play 4K videos pretty easily, so that's nice. That's kind of cool. I never like watched too many 4K videos though. I mean, it's mostly just 1080p, YouTube videos or whatever. I never tried playing a 4K, what was it? Ultra high definition, like Blu-ray on my Blu-ray player. It doesn't recognize it. And it turns out you have to buy a 4K Ultra Blu-ray player to play it. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I don't even, of course you might be wondering why you're trying to play that if you have a 4K TV. Well, it's still going to play. It's going to look pretty sharp on a 1080p, but it won't be as sharp as like a 4K TV. But I was just testing it out. I never like rented a. Thank God I rented one. The disc. Oh, we got that. Yeah, I rented it from not Blockbuster. That would have been amazing if that was the case. No, I rented it from Redbox. That's what it was. I was trying to play. Oh, what's that Avengers movie? Not Endgame, the other one. Just curiosity's sake. What was that Endgame? One of the two. Thanos snap. Am I right, fellow kids? I watched a little bit of the Infinity War, was that right? That must have been the first one out of the two. I watched a little bit of it, and I had no clue what the hell was going on. Of course I didn't. I didn't watch any of the other Marvel films. The only Marvel film I've seen, and this is before Disney even bought it, was Spider-Man 1. I saw a bit of Spider-Man 2. That's it. Oh, a little bit of The Incredible Hulk. That was, of course, before Disney took over. I mean, I used to grow up quite a bit with superhero movies and stuff like that. Kind of. Like Power Rangers, the original Power Rangers. And then you had Captain Planet. The power is yours! So freaking old. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What else? And stuff like that, especially Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And all that. I mean, they're all still around to some degree, except Captain Planet. They've done a lot more different things now than with it, to where I don't really approve of the direction it's made. I get it. You're trying to make everything modernized and relevant and stuff, and there's also stuff that's like shouldn't even be in there. It's kind of a complicated thing, I guess. And so, like, as growing up, I just became less and less interested with like superhero stuff. Like, yeah, I'll play some Halo, which that's different. That's more of a unique thing that I liked over the years, except for like 343 screwing it up. Some degree here and there until they fixed Master Chief Collection. Even though it's still kind of buggy, it's still they finally fixed it after freaking 6 plus years. But no, I mean, I've I've been with people, you know, much younger than me that talked about Marvel movies and stuff like that, and they talk about going out premiere nights and everything for like, it might have been Infinity War and then Endgame stuff, I think. And they, you know, they asked me if I want to come along and stuff like that. No thanks though. I wasn't really interested in it. It's just, I mean, I didn't watch Batman and Superman versus Superman, which I thought would be interesting. I wasn't so big with superhero movies. It was more in the lines of just seeing it to see what happens, and well, I didn't like it. I don't think a lot of people liked it either. I did watch Man of Steel because I heard it was really good. It was okay. Well, I did see the Superman movie in the 2000s in theaters. I don't care for it too much. But it's just like, like, you have to dedicate a lot of time. I get it, you don't have to do it all at once, but like, you have to dedicate a lot of time to like, watch everything to know what's going on. I mean, yeah, it's like playing like Halo games, you know, you gotta know, play each of the games and stuff like that to give you an idea of what's happening in the storyline, you know, story arc. Especially if 343 screws it up. Yeah, I'm kind of burning 343 here, but like, might be a little controversial here, but it's like, for some degree, they make it consistent to where, in some way, to God, my tears. Make it consistent in some way to where there's kind of a pattern to follow. You know what I'm saying? A pattern that you gotta like play the other games to kind of see what leads up to this point. Even though it doesn't appear too linear in some story arcs. And there's nothing wrong with, and just kind of be clear too, there's nothing wrong with like watching a whole series of them and then like, you know, get a full understanding. I mean, it's like watching a television show, you know? Like, I watched like quite a bit of Breaking Bad that led up to like watching the new ones that were coming on TV. I think I was on season 4. I started doing that. I was watching season 4. And then I got to the season 5. I think there's a season 5 part 2, right? Something like that. I need to get it back and watch Better Call Saul too. But like, I think I'm on starting on season 4, I think, on that, or season 3. I'm still on season 3. I want to at least get done with it, because I did watch the movie too on Netflix, the Netflix adaptation, which wasn't bad. But ooh, holy lie. And it's not technically a superhero movie. Like, everybody's got different taste for different things. So for me, it's like, I don't really have an interest with that kind of stuff. You know, same thing with too. It's like watching sports. A lot of people can get into it. Me, I try to get into it. It's just, I don't really have an interest too much. You know. I get to some degree how the game works and whatever, certain games. I don't see the appeal. I mean, I hear about it, and sometimes I see it on TV and stuff like that when I'm out and about. I don't really cheer on for this or that. So I'm not really a, a fanboy, you call them, for, a certain set of stuff. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to use it as an insult. I'm trying to say, like, it's a, I don't know. I don't know how you describe it. I mean, as a kid, I probably would have been considered a fanboy for a lot of those cartoons and whatever, live action stuff. But now it's like, I can't. I said we take the Book of Belial for damage. I mean, why do I have static tears? Oh, I see. The wisp, okay. Threw me off for there a second. It's like, do I have a body in the box somewhere or whatever? Yeah, I don't know, like... I mean, I used to play sports and stuff, for example, well, like... It's one thing playing sports, which is like a lot of fun, a lot of engagement and stuff like that with the other team and whatever, the opposing teams. Well, this is interesting. That's why I take the paper with us. But it's another where it's just watching it, which is like not, for me, it's not as fun. I don't know. Here's that. That's not bad. All right. Should look for our shop. Yeah. So I guess there's my little tidbit with that. Trying to figure out like what the heck prompted me to go all the way this deep in this conversation. Trying to figure out what the main source was of it. Oh, we gotta be careful here. What is it? Well, fan stuff. I don't know. Sometimes you go so deep in these kind of conversation stuff to where it's like, it's a tenor I can say there, by the way. So deep into it, it's like, you don't know where you started to, it's too late. Oh, you're just gonna give me these worms, huh? It's like hell for the wasp. Hell on my knees, boss. I was reading like a little thing online about this employee from, I think, a fast food place. Oh, we'll take that. This is one shop next floor. And, ooh, that was close. And they were getting behind a freezer for some reason. And they were trying to get to something on top of there or whatever. And the person supposedly accidentally fell off, and they ended up behind the freezer, and they were trapped there. I don't know if the person died or not. I assume maybe they did, because it did say in the article like nobody could have heard him or her or whatever, and just trapped there because of the loud machinery from the ice machine or whatever, freezer thing. I would never crawl in the back of there. And I guess this is a common thing that happens too. People get stuck in there. I'm like, yeah, like, If it's such a common thing, I would never entertain the idea of getting back up there, you know? Especially if I'm by myself and doing that stuff and nobody knows I'm there. Nuh-uh. You're gonna have to be in the same room as me. But I'm gonna climb up there for some reason. Maybe they had like stuff that was stored on top of the freezer. Big freeze. I don't know. I don't know how you fall off of there too. It's crazy.
I found
Truly a lot of bizarre things in the world, though, that happen like that. Like there's one thing I read. I think it happened last year or the year before or something. Might have been, I don't know if it was during COVID or not. But like over there in Detroit, there was a old lady. I think it was an old lady who people thought that she just went off somewhere or whatever. Took off with her car and stuff. And something happened that led to like police or somebody to check out the place. And supposedly they found her body in her car or something, dead. Or I think it was in her car or something. It might have been in her car, in the garage. So, and she was there for a while. I think it was in her car. And so these people never really put two to two together that she died. And I think it was like a number of years or something she was dead too, which is weird. But you'd think like, if the neighbors or whoever were thinking like, oh, she moved away or whatever, you'd think like they probably would have at least seen like a moving truck or something. Instead of like abandoning the stuff and like leave it there. That would have been highly unusual. Unless like it was one of those like spur in the moments things where she just like decided to just leave everything behind. And so I don't know how common that really is, honestly, with doing that. For me, I would want to take all my stuff. I don't leaving it behind for people to pilfer through. Actually, you know what? It might have been over a decade or something, now I think about it. She was kind of mummified or something because of the conditions and stuff, weather changes over the years. I think it was like over a decade. Something like that. It was something crazy number, high number. Yeah, I don't know, like... I read some weird stuff on the internet about this happening, or they find this, or that. Brown nugget, Get it? Well, no, we don't have a fly item, that's right. I don't even know what this does. I think it does something with giving you tears. The more you get hurt, maybe? I mean, there's truly bizarre news going on all the time, thanks to the internet. Like one thing I believed in, which was a hoax, kind of a fairly famous, well, not really famous, but like fairly known-ish hoax at the time, of the angry Tourette's guy being dead. And I watched a video about it, and it turns out he's actually still alive. People did some snooping and found out he's actually alive. Like, holy crap. And they're only posting a video once in a blue moon on their main YouTube channel. Which is really interesting. I think I kind of like that style too, because now it's, because if you have too much like stuff, that's lucky. Because if you have too much like stuff all over the place, with videos or whatever, then people are just going to grow tired and not want to watch any more of it. And it gets later because there's just so much oversaturation and stuff. Unfortunately, we're going to lose that Eternal Heart. I mean, they're not a marketer or anything. I mean, I don't think. Ah, Tourette's guy. Been around even before YouTube, evidently. When they're doing research on this stuff. Like, it's been so long ago, my mom would get pissed with me, like, watching Tourette's guy on YouTube. Same thing, too, with the Winnebago man. It's like, don't watch that. Using filthy language. Which I also watched the documentary about the Winnebago man. Fortunately, unfortunately, he's just a depressed man and stuff, and he has some personal, you know, demons he has to kind of endure and deal with the things that happen to him. But it's interesting. And then on the other hand, you got on the flip side, you got this documentaries talking about the famous, or infamous, or whatever person. Then you got the flip side where they make a movie based on your interaction with how to get you famous, which is The Bearded Man, which that movie sucked. I watched it just curiosity's sake. I'm like, I don't know, it's not really great. But they do all these like big licensing deals and stuff like that with people with these famous interviews or whatever. They get some kind of a hookup with the contract, especially like people who make content based on the original broadcast stuff, and then that make them famous because of the auto-tune. We call it auto-tune, like setup. You got people like the Golden Voice guy who got back into being rich again after the viral YouTube video. But then he had some issues and stuff. That's the thing with the internet. It's like sometimes it'll swing one way, which is good, like really good, and it'll swing another way, which is really bad. Sometimes it's something where it's like, oh yeah, it's obvious, you shouldn't be saying that kind of stuff. Another one's like not so obvious. Twitter. Reddit, excuse me. I stay away from those sites like the plague. I think there's something too with like social media. Because sometimes when you're using a lot of social media, I mean, there's been research done obviously with I've talked about in other videos, I'm just going to go brief on it, where it eventually just kind of affects you negatively for a variety of reasons. And so, like, I mean, it's great as a content creator to engage with your crowd and stuff like that, but the downside is it's like you have to sit through a lot of BS. Now, I'm not saying, like, people are going to, like, you know, all these people are following you, BS and all that, nothing like that. It's just, like, people insulting you and you're saying all this other stuff going on or whatever, they get angry with you. It's like, I mean, you'll see it in the comments on YouTube, which you can pretty easily avoid by like not looking at it. When you expand yourself with social media, like you could do the same thing too, but it's like, it's pretty hard to resist. It's harder to resist to like view your comments, like say if you got a Facebook or a Twitter account tied to your social media stuff, to where you feel like you're more inclined to infinitely scroll as opposed to YouTube. Like for me, I don't like scrolling through YouTube for comments. I got a comment here and there, and I'll read it because like I don't get many comments. I don't get many views, as you can see. But now if I would well, actually I do get comments a lot for the other videos, the older stuff. But I don't really read that, on my off time or anything. Like, because there's just so much stuff. Now with Twitch platform, I haven't done too many Twitch streams. And so like, if I get like a bunch of commenters on there, like I don't know, like I'm not used to doing a live stream that have a bunch of comments. Like I did do a live stream for the premiere of Repentance, but I was done full screen, so I'm not seeing none of the comments, and the comments were coming through, telling me to do this and do that, which I wasn't like purposely avoiding. It's just how my setup is with like seeing stuff. Now, could have like done it where I can see the comments? Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to kind of see and kind of comment on some things or questions or whatever, or suggestions. I kind of like that. But on the flip side, it's like the issue with, like I said before, you might have some, isolated people that might be toxic and stuff, and gotta kind of deal with that. And I'm not the kind of a expert on that kind of stuff too, how you circumvent it. You could ban them or something like that, but there's like so many of them. Or you got to do it consistently. I mean, you could probably hire like moderators, like they do with Twitch streamers do. Just crazy to think about. You could hire moderators to moderate your stuff as you're streaming. But then you have to be paying them some money, that's the thing. Now, I probably would do that if I made quite a bit of money as streaming. I probably would. I mean, I'm going to pay them. I'm going to look for a free moderator. I'm going to be paying them. They're using their free time to do stuff to, benefit me. And it benefits them by getting them trained and stuff like that, and getting put into practice, and they can use those skills for like other moderation jobs should anything happen in the future. Like if they want to change or whatever. Cool little experience. That'd be weird, training someone to be a moderator for Twitch, or hire someone for that. That's like over my head, like how like weird that sounds, because I've been on the internet for, well, technically since like 95 or 96, so I've been here for a while. Dial-up age. Just kind of thinking about it, it's like just wild to me. You could hire people to moderate comments. Like if I were to tell my mother about that, she'd be like, "What? Moderate comments?" Like they're there in a group chat, talking with each other, and they ban people or put timeout ban. Like it would be so over her head, it'd blow her mind. It kind of blows my mind, kind of thinking about it, even though it's kind of a common thing at this point. Of that going on. And the internet's going to get even crazier. It's always going to get crazier. If I were to tell my mother about like, yeah, there's actually a set of YouTubers out there called mukbangers. I have to repeat myself because she'll be like, what's mukbanging? That's like something disgusting and perverted? Like, no, actually it's YouTubers who eat in front of a camera and show up a bunch of food that they're eating at once. Of course, she'd probably be asking, is it, well, why would they be doing that? And I'd be like, well, I'll tell you, from my limited understanding with it, it gets people interested in talking about like them eating a bunch of food and stuff in their faces. And it shows off food that looks delicious, that we could also be sponsored by these companies to eat all this junk. Food, man, it still blows my mind with how much the internet's changed so quickly with things. Like, when I was a kid, it was dial-up. You could barely do anything. Like, even when we had dial-up in the 90s, like, that's a serious deal. The internet was young and everything. Expensive too. Slow. So we didn't really, well, I mean, I did try to use it a little bit more than usual because it was so new. Cool. I used to download like game demos and stuff like that. One of my first game demos, actually my mother might have downloaded it. So it's called Redneck Rampage. You probably see on my channel that I have some videos of me playing some Redneck Rampage. Problem is, I can't disable the music, which is DSM, not DSM, DCMA. I think that's how you pronounce it. Give me DCMA, was it DMCA? I think it's DMCA. Like copyright strike or something, because the music. Which was never intended back then to like disable the music for copyright, because who the hell's gonna know that 20 years ago? So even if you try to disable the music in the program, you can't. And there's sound effects I gotta play. Now I suppose maybe there's a way to delete the music. I could probably play it. Same thing with like another game I used to play too was what is it called? Descent. Descent, and I think Descent 2. They're both demos at the time. My mom got those games, and then I think she deleted them, and then I found a way to like re-download them through dial-up. And back then too, I used to delete system files on the PC, not knowing that it would destroy the computer if we did that. I did that on a few occasions. I mean, how would I know back then? Deleting System 32 files. I thought it was fun to delete system files because like it was so cool. They just go away. You never come back. Now it's like I just delete stuff to save room on my computer. And the right kind of files this time. I mean, there's ways to like take off the security stuff on the system and delete anything I want, but I'm not jeopardizing my computer. Me back then is at the me now. Is there even a way to avoid that? Oh yeah, the spikes. Okay, yeah, you can go for the spikes. I tried to use a little bit of TikTok the other day. Like, not to watch videos, I tried to submit something. A couple hundred views or something so far, which is, I guess, not bad. I don't know what's considered really bad for TikTok standards, but 200 or something views the other day. Like, that's, for me, that's a lot more than what I'm getting out of YouTube. Then again, YouTube, it's like a totally different algorithm. How you find videos. And my video was short too, so much shorter than these. No one's going to spend, not a lot of people are going to spend a lot of time watching my videos because of how long they are. They want short, condensed stuff with catchy titles and flashy pictures. I mean, that's how you get people typically, like me. I'm like a big old goldfish sometimes. It's like, ooh, look at that. And I forget what I'm doing after that. I just realized I kept this ruin. I didn't use it for the mom fight last floor. Because I was going to take the other ruin. I'm a little sidetracked. Anyway, speaking about internet, yeah, going back with the service provider I was looking at for the 120 megs. One of the questionnaire things is like, what do you use the internet typically for? And one of the categories was extreme gaming. There's no regular gaming, it's just extreme gaming. It's like, what did they define as extreme gaming for this department? Is this like boomer talk or something? I was like, extreme gaming, like they're playing an hour a day. Or something. I don't know what they define it as. It's probably something more complicated than that. Like you're a huge Twitch streamer and stuff. You need a lot of bandwidth. Maybe. I haven't personally asked them. Hey, I'm an extreme gamer. Yeah. Well, do you have a Twitch account? Yeah. How often do you stream? Like never? Well, you're not an extreme gamer. Get out of here. Get that out of my face. You must have like 1 million subscribers. Yeah, about that. Hey, would you sponsor us? This thing? I probably would take the sponsorship. Well, depending on what it is and what the conditions are. You take the sponsorship. You tell us how good the internet is, even though you don't use our service. And you also have to promote Raid Shadow Legends. Nope. Okay. Raid Shadow Legends. I'm not. I watched a number of videos talking about that. Raid Shadow Legends. I'm not gonna be a sellout at that point. Or maybe I would. Who knows? Who knows what the future tells me. But chances are, no, I would not be. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. No, I wouldn't use them either. Not saying it's bad or anything, Norden. So, you're out there. I'm here. You can sponsor me. I won't say much resistance to things. Push of a button in case of emergencies. Okay, whatever. Oh, this is interesting. Oh yeah, it doesn't give me soul hearts. I just realized that. Okay. I think we should be fine. Because we popped Book of Belial like a few times. I'm gonna just pop this. I should have been using this a long time ago. Oh my god. I say should be fine, not necessarily mean it's gonna be fine. I'm not that coordinated. I don't have like a large win streak in Isaac. Could I? Yeah, if I was more careful and put a lot more practice into it. But why? What do I gain for the benefit out of it? Oh, look at me. I got a higher streak than this person or whatever. It's fun to have a streak, I guess. But for me, it's like, I don't really get anything out of it. Not really achievements or anything special. Except for like if you're doing dailies, I suppose. Getting the crack crown or whatever. Or no, it's like, no. So crack crown, you get up 30 wins regardless if you get losses or not. But you would have to have, what was it, 3, 4 wins or something like that in a row, or dailies without losing to get the broken modem or something like that, if I recall. Oh, I don't like this. Oh boy. Oh god. I don't know what saved me there. I still feel weak. What the hell's going on? I mean, they probably patched Mega State to make them much tougher. A lot of damage threshold stuff. Boss armor. I really don't want to get close to him. And these tears are getting uncomfortably close to me, too. Oh, shit. I don't know how I got through that either. Are we done yet? Holy Christ. Stop. Give me that. That was close. That would suck good to restart the fight. Of course, some people have got to the boss rush. I'm pretty sure with that score. Well, we did pretty well. We got close to the end there. We gets, you know, fricked, but we did it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.